Okay, first thing you do when you get into your pre-trip is you climb up in the truck. You use 3 points of contact. You want to make sure that you're in neutral. You want to make sure that your brakes are on. From there, it's just like reading a book. You start at the top, work your way from the left to the right, and work to the bottom. So, first thing I come to is my windshield. My windshield is properly mounted, secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. All nuts and bolts are present and tight. You want to make sure there's no cracks on your windshield, no illegal stickers, and your windshield is clean. You also, on your windshield, you want to look for your inspection sticker. Your inspection sticker should be current and up to date. From your windshield, you're going to go to your wipers. Your wipers are properly mounted, secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. All nuts and bolts are present and tight. The wipers are made out of rubber, so there should be no abrasions, no bubbles, no cuts, no dry rot on the wipers. From your wipers, you come down, you come back, you come over to your left. What I do is I go to my mirrors. I want to look at my mirrors. I want to make sure that my mirrors are properly mounted, secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. All nuts and bolts are present and tight. You also, while you're sitting here, you want to make sure that your mirrors are adjusted for you. From your mirrors, you come into your window. You want to make sure that your window goes up and down. And if your other window is powered, you can check that one. Make sure your window goes up and down. And your windows should be properly mounted, secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. All nuts and bolts are present and tight. Your windows are made out of glass, so they should be clear and free of any illegal stickers. From there, you want to go to your 4 safeties. They're your seat belt, your fuses, your reflective triangle, and your fire extinguisher. Well, first we're going to check our seat belt. You're going to pull your seat belt out. Make sure there's no frays or cuts on the seat belt. You want to make sure the seat belt latches and unlatches. Then you go to your fuses. This truck does not have fuses. This truck has breakers. Breakers are in here. Right there's all your breakers. But if it did have fuses, you would want 1 fuse for every amp. So if you have 5 10 amp fuses and 10 20 amp fuses, you want to have 1 replacement amp for each size fuse. Then you go to your reflective triangles, which are right underneath here. Your reflective triangles are underneath there. And your fire extinguisher is right here. You want to make sure your fire extinguisher is ABC rated. You want to make sure that it's fully charged, and you want to make sure the pin is in so it doesn't accidentally go off. Okay, from your safeties, now you move into your dashboard. Your dashboard, what you're going to do is you're going to start naming your gauges and what they do. So here's your water temperature gauge, here's your oil pressure gauge, and here's your volts. Your volts should be between 12 and 15. Your oil pressure should be at normal operating range, and same with your water temperature. Tachometer, speedometer, air tank 1, air tank 2, fuel gauge. Your air tank should be between your air governor should kick off on your air tank between 120 and 140 is where your air governor will shut off. Right now we're riding at about 100 pound. Okay, coming across, you have your headlights. You want to turn your headlights on. You want to look at your instructor or your examiner, and you say, this is where you would get out and you would help me check all my lights, including my left turn signal, right turn signal, high beam, low beam, brake lights. All right, turn your lights back off. Come across here, this is your windshield washers. You want to make sure that your windshield wiper and washers work. So push the wash button with your key on and make sure that you can spray fluid. There you are. Your wipers are working. Okay, from there, this is your window. Come across, nothing. Here's your power mirror to adjust your mirror if you need to. Coming across, nothing. Then you come down here to your heater. You want to make sure that you can put it on defrost. Turn the fan, make sure the fan's working. Okay, we're blowing air up here. Then you want to go down, make sure you're blowing air on the floor, and you are, and you want to be able to heat that air. All right, good, and obviously the fan's working. Okay, shut them all off. Coming across. Okay, come back over this side. What you're going to do is you're going to check your steering wheel. Your steering wheel should have no more than 2 inches of play or 10 degrees. On your steering wheel, you have your city horn. And you have your air horn. You want to make sure those work. All right. From there, you come down. Now is where we'll go right to that sheet of paper that I gave you guys. This is word for word off the sheet of paper. You're going to do your brake checks. Your brake checks consist of, first thing you want to do is you want to look at your pressure gauges. You want to make sure that your pressure is down to around 100 pounds or 90 pounds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pump the brakes a couple times to get it down to about 90 pounds. Okay, now what I'm going to do is do a safe start on the truck. I'm going to make sure I'm in neutral, clutch the whole way to the floor, turn the key on, start the truck. Okay, now what I'm going to do now, I'm going to let it start up, let it warm here a little bit. Now I'm going to give it a little bit of gas, and I'm going to build the air pressure up till I hear my air governor sneeze. You can see I'm building air. We're going to go till we hear the sneeze. Happen between 120 and 140 pounds. There was my air governor sneeze right there, about 120 pounds. Okay, so now I got a full tank air. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do my low air warning light test, which should come on around 60 pounds. Oh, my bad, I screwed up. First I'm going to do is my static brake check. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the gear, low gear. I'm going to shut my truck off. Let my clutch out, turn my key back on, and I'm going to release my brakes. It's not going to go anywhere because I'm in gear. So release my tractor brakes, which is yellow, and I'm going to release my trailer brakes, which is red. I'm going to give it a chance here to settle down. Alrighty, this is what you call your static brake test. We're going to sit here and we're going to do absolutely nothing for 1 minute. We're going to watch this gauge right here. And we're going to make sure that we lose no more than 3 pounds in a combination truck or 2 pounds in a straight truck in 1 minute. So you're going to sit here and you're going to look at that gauge and you're going to make sure that you don't lose 3 in a combination or 2 in a straight truck in 1 minute. So you sit here for 1 minute, count to yourself, la-di-da-di-da. Okay, the minute's up. Now, I'm going to go to my applied brake test, which incurs me putting my foot on the brake and holding pressure on the brake for 1 minute. And during this test, I should lose no more than 4 pounds of air in a combination truck or 3 pounds of air in a straight truck within 1 minute. So we're sitting here counting to a minute. Okay, minute's up. I didn't lose any air pressure. Now I'm going to go to my low air warning alarm, lights and alarm. At this point, I want to make sure that my key's on, because if my key is not on, the light will not come on. You don't want the truck to be running, you just want the key on. Turn the key on, make sure you can see the miles on the truck. So now I'm going to fan down my brakes to around 60 pounds to where my low air warning light and alarm will come on. So I'm going to pump the brakes to get down to around 60, or when my light comes on. There's my low air warning light, and obviously you can hear the alarm. From here, I'm going to continue to fan down between 20 and 40 pounds to where my emergency brakes will pop. So what I do is I'm going to watch those buttons, not the gauge. I'm going to watch those buttons to make sure both of those buttons pop, and they should pop between 20 and 40. So I'm going to continue pumping the brakes, watching those buttons. And they both popped. All right, well, I popped at about just right around 40 pounds. Alrighty, so both my brakes popped, my emergency brakes are working. So now I'm out of air. I'm down to 30 pounds on this one. I've got to start it up and I got to build my air pressure back up. So I'm going to do a safe start. Neutral. Start the truck. Okay, make sure I'm in neutral. Let my clutch out slow. I can give it gas. Build the air up. As I'm building this air up, when I get to 85 pounds, which is roughly halfway between these two marks right here, the one before 90 and 90. When it gets to 85 pounds, it should take no longer than 45 seconds to go to 100 pounds. So 85 to 100 pounds called your rate of build. It should take no longer than 45 seconds. My low air warning alarm should be going off here soon. There goes my low air warning alarm. Okay, once it gets about halfway between these two lines right here, I'm going to start. There's 85 pounds. 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000, 6 1,000, 7 1,000, 8 1,000, 9 1,000. There's 100 pounds in about 10 seconds. So I'm going to continue building pressure till my air governor sneezes, which is around 120 pounds. There was my air governor. Alrighty. Now I have full pressure in my tanks. Now what I'm going to do is my tug test. Truck brake, trailer brake. They're both pulled out right now, so both brakes are on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to test my trailer brake. So I'm going to select the low gear. I'm going to put it in third gear. I'm going to release my truck brakes. Give it a second. Now I'm going to try to do a slight tug on my trailer to make sure my brakes are holding. See, and I can't move. My trailer is holding me. So I reapply my tractor brakes. Now I'm going to check my tractor brakes by releasing my trailer brakes. Release my trailer brakes, give it a second. Now I'm going to give it another slight tug. Make sure I can't go nowhere. That means my brakes are holding. Can't go nowhere. All right. From there, I'm going to release both brakes, push them both in, and I'm going to check my service brake. I'm going to roll 5 mile an hour forward, loose hands on the steering wheel, apply the service brake, make sure it doesn't pull left or the right, and it comes to a smooth stop. Here we go. Clutch in and come to a nice smooth stop, then pull left or the right, put my brakes on. That completes my incab.